your weekly breakdown. Here is everything you may have missed in the rock, alternative, metalcore, whatever core scene. Let's get into it. ASOS, welcome back to Breakdowns and Bows. This week's overview is a sexy tour announcement that got ruined by drama. The Heavy Music Awards released their 2026 nominees. It's a tough pick because we'll get into categories, but it's a tough pick. Let me tell you something. There's new music, new tours, new albums coming out, fully being released, and some of these tours are not here in the United States. But nonetheless, we're still happy to see all of these things get announced. We got to get into it, but we also need to clean house before we do anything. I hope that you guys are subscribed. If you're not, it's a simple button. Please do not forget to hit it. I hope you guys leave a like. I hope you guys leave a comment, please, in the comments down below. Let me know all of your opinions. Let me know what you guys think about the drama that happened this week. Let me know about who you're voting for when it comes to the Heavy Music Awards. Let me know what songs you like that have been coming out this week, or what songs from last week that are on repeat this week. For me, my on repeat song currently is definitely going to be Control by Catch Your Breath. I know that's been like a while release, but that's the one that I like. And also, my listening stats from Spotify says that my top song, though, even though I thought I listened to Control by Catch Your Breath the most, it says that only Endless by Boundaries is my top song of the week. And number 2 is Senses by Siamese. 3rd is Swan Dive by the Amity Affliction, and 4 is Gone or Staying. And it's nowhere near what I thought, but I have Control by Catch Your Breath stuck in my head, and my top artist was Flyleaf. So do let me know that down in the comments below. Make sure you guys share this video, and do not forget to follow me on my Patreon. I am going to, after this, I'm going to record me listening to the new Afterlife song, because I have not listened to it because I'm waiting to do a full recording of it. So I have not listened to it at all yet, but I'm very, very excited and very pumped to do a full review of it. So when you're done watching this, you can go over there, check it out. I do post videos that I post here, over there, but I'm trying to do a little bit of a mixture of content and everything like that. But we need to get into the tea of the week. So Motionless in White announced a part 2 tour, and it is salivating because they have support from Dayseeker, The Devil Wears Prada, and Dark Divide. And let me tell you something, I have been dying to see Dayseeker. So I was supposed to go see Dayseeker in San Diego, but as we all know that prices are going up, everything is going up. We just could not afford the plane ticket over to San Diego. It would have costed way too much money to fly over there, way too much money to drive, way too much time and energy. So I missed going to the Dayseeker tour. So seeing Dayseeker on this tour, I'm like, oh, that's what I want. I've also been really wanting to see The Devil Wears Prada because their new album has just come out, and I really, really like both of these bands' new albums. So to see them on this tour lineup all together, I'm like, oh, this is like a dream come true for me. Dark Divine is also on here, which they are featured on one of Motionless In White's new songs that's coming off of their new album, which is really exciting. Now, unfortunately, this is more East Coast. They're doing dates, in New York, in Pennsylvania. They're doing it in Wisconsin, Tennessee, Illinois. And, I'm really sad because it's like, I know that the part 1 is more of the Texas states, but like, this is such a sick tour that I wish that it was for everybody. I don't know how you guys feel about part 2s, but this is what I want to get into, is like, how do we feel about part 2s? Because I've seen a lot of bands do this, but with Bring Me the Horizon, though, they did parts of their tours, but they kept the lineup the same. For Motionless In White, the lineup is different. So it does kind of feel like, okay, part 1 was so great, part 2 is even better. So if you go to part 1, you miss out on part 2, and then the dates don't really line up or anything like that for you. So it kind of sucks, but it's also kind of cool because you get to experience everything, but you feel left out at the same time. So it's kind of just like, I don't really know how I feel about it. I want to know how y'all feel about it. I have like very mixed emotions towards this. But nonetheless, the lineup is the lineup, and it's just two massive heavy hitters on this lineup. But there is some drama. So this tour got announced. It was great. It was wonderful. I did not hear any complaints at first. I heard everybody being very ecstatic over this. Everybody was pumped about this. It's a sexy tour lineup. And then Motionless in White had apparently posted on X, Happy Pride Month, right? It's Pride Month. June is Pride Month. So a lot of people have been posting Happy Pride Month. They've been posting out different stuff. And they posted that, and somebody had said, well, you're saying Happy Pride Month, but you are putting Dark Divine on your tour. And it's kind of just like, what do you mean? Like, why would that come up, right? So that doesn't make any sense. So let me pull up all of the receipts. So this person broke it down very good. It was Core Forever on Facebook. So they said that on June 3rd, Motionless in White's frontman Chris Motionless shared a Pride Month message on X saying, Happy Pride Month to all those who live authentically, freely, and unapologetically themselves. Love will survive. Puss marks. Instead of warm reactions, the post was flooded with accusations of hypocrisy, many fans pointing to the band's recent tour announcement, which includes Dark Divine as their opening act. Now, the allegations. In March 2025, a former crew member, so this was actually last year. So a lot of people that I was hearing from, and I'll backtrack, okay, it will all make sense. Stay with me. When I was hearing about this, a lot of people were saying that this was 2 years ago. But this person is saying that this happened in March 2025, which was just very recent. This was last year, not 2 years ago. This was last year. According to this, it says in March 2025, a former crew member publicly accused Dark Divine of fostering an abusive work environment and being disrespectful towards LGBTQ plus individuals. The allegation resurfaced again when they got announced for the Sweat and Blood tour with Motionless in White. Fans are now calling out the band to remove them from the lineups with comments such as, why are you guys touring with Dark Divine when they are openly hurt queer people? Ugh, I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. When they openly hurt queer people. Now, they did respond, Dark Divine did respond the same day. So the same day that this all happened, they also responded claiming that denying the claims that they are unsafe for the LGBTQ fans and acknowledging having a difficult tour in 2024 with an intoxicated sound engineering, and admitted that they could have handled the situation a little bit better, but insisted to always being committed to inclusivity. Now, Motionless in White have not issued an official response to the criticisms to call to drop Dark Divine from their tour. Now, also from Music Life, their former crew member resurfaced online and quickly began spreading it across social media. So literally what happened was that a crew member is the one that's doing this, according to Music Life. So according to Music Life, they're saying that this disgruntled crew member saw them going on this tour, decided, I'm going to bring up all this crap all over social media. But like the fans' comments as well, like it's not just this crew member, there's people actually commenting and saying things like, on the Mosh networks, somebody said, I'm confused. It's a former crew member in 2025, but it's not 2025, it's 2024. So it was 2 years ago. These dates are all over the place. What's the problem now? And that was from Gilgi. From Trey Noftel, they said, Dark Divine is amazing. I've seen them a few times and talked to the band members individually. They have never been anything short but amazing. I have seen how they treat LGBTQ plus people at concerts, and it's always been treated with kindness. Now Joey says they did absolutely nothing wrong. This is the unfortunate world we live in now. The moment something positive happens for someone, there's always seems to be someone who's trying to tear it down, discredit, or redirect the attention towards themselves. Now, Christian said, it's like 3 people that have no lives complaining instantaneously. The problem has been addressed and dealt with a while back, which is the true. Somebody had commented on my post. His name is Sam. He says that he currently works for Dark Divine as their stage manager and guitar tech. He says, I have worked with them for about 2 years and they have never abused any crew member, and they are most definitely a safe space for LGBTQ plus community. They have such an amazing fan base, and it's sad to see this stuff happen. I'm beyond happy to be able to work with them and consider them very close friends. And I had made my own statement saying, thanks for sharing this. I love the band and I support them. I don't understand the situation and I think it's very unnecessary. This is just ruining their moment of getting on a massive tour that will, in my opinion, only further their career and bring more fans in. I think that people are just doing this to tear them down. Focus on we don't need to focus on the negativity but the positive. I'm very proud of them. They said it's truly sad to see. These guys are such sweethearts, so they deserve all good things. We all worked hard on their headlining tour earlier this year and it was amazing to see them grow. Literally some of the best people I know. I appreciate your post also. So that was from what I had said on TikTok, because so this is my thing about this. Who gives a like, I'm sorry, why is it that, okay, so they did a headlining tour earlier this year and I called it the New Kids on the Block tour because it was literally every single band that is new in the scene, fresh on the scene. Dark Divine headlined it and they had all these bands that are just barely coming up in the scene, barely getting a lot of momentum, and nobody had a problem with it. Nobody called out the LGBTQ situation. Nobody said nothing. Everybody was super pumped about this tour. I saw nothing but positivity on that tour. And this was earlier this year. Nobody had a problem. Nobody had an issue. Everybody was happy. The issue that I think happened was that nobody wants to see them win. Because this Motionless in White tour is a win for them. Like I said, the Devil Wears Prada and Dayseeker, they don't need this tour. And I don't mean no disrespect. It's great that they're on this tour. I think that it will help bring in tickets. I think it will help Motionless in White. I think that it's a good thing. But these two bands do not need this tour. They have their own fan base. They have a massive album already out. They have massive success. They have been in this industry for years. Okay? They're on this tour to be support and to hang out with their friends and chill. Dark Divine is on this tour because they're babies and they need this to further their career and better themselves, and this is a major opportunity for them. They have yet to get on a massive tour announcement like this. So now that they're on this, now that they're getting that, now they're being rewarded, the universe is unfortunately bringing out uncanny characters that are trying to ruin it. And that's all that it is. That's all it is at the end of the day. I've spent too much time talking about this and I don't give a shit to keep talking about this, because at the end of the day, it's just people who can't handle seeing somebody else win. And that's the point. That's point blank period. You're mad that somebody's winning. You're mad and you're bringing up stuff that doesn't matter. Like they said, it was 2 years ago. It wasn't even any members. They dealt with the situation then. Why do we always have to bring crap up when crap is not necessary? Let them win. Let them have their moment. Let them get on this massive tour. Let it be good for them, because it is really good for them. It's a great positive thing for them. But like I said, I spent too much time talking about this, and I don't want to keep talking about this. At the end of the day, I think that there is no real accusation here. I think that they are very deserving of being on the Motionless White tour. I do not think the Motionless White needs to drop them. I do not think they need to drop off this tour. I don't think that we need to be hateful towards anybody at all. Love is love. Amen. Now, Nevertel also announced a US tour as well. I was like, what are they doing with this cryptic message last week that I talked about, like, welcome to the other side? They were teasing something, but I really thought it was going to be new music or a new album, but I don't recall seeing an album come from them. So I thought this was going to be an album, but it was a tour, a US tour, and it has support from Ocean Sleepers and We Are Rivals. It's massive, man. It's going from September 12th to about October 18th. It's about a month long, and it has so many dates on it, so you guys should definitely check out Nevertel. Sleeping with Sirens is officially they're back, man. They're back. Everybody's back right now, man. They announced returning to the UK and they put out a statement. Let me read this statement to you. In Europe and UK, we are finally returning for an ending itself tour in 2027 with special guests Arm Length Blues and Like Rosca. It's been a while. It's been a long time coming, and we can't wait to bring these new songs to you all live. Sirens fan clubs members get first access. And I thought that was so sweet because yeah, like it's been a minute and they have barely come back fully. Like I feel like they've just kind of been doing not tours, they've been just doing festivals, excuse me. They've just only been doing festivals, and to see them fully come back with a new album, seeing them come back with a tour, it's just really, really exciting to see them come back in this way, and it's amazing. The home team also announced the Crucible of Life tour with not a lot of dates for the US, but it has supports from a Heart Attack Man, Chitty, Archers, and Difference from September 15th to October 4th. Now, I don't know if I talked about this last week or not, but ERRA is also doing a small US tour called Drift Outlives the Earth tour from support of Van Roast, Chambers, and Resolve. Lacey Sturm also announced an acoustic tour of 6 dates only on the east part of the United States. This will be after the massive Flyleaf 20th anniversary tour, which is coming. So she's gonna basically do this little itty bitty acoustic thing after her massive moment with Flyleaf, which I cannot wait. I'm super excited and pumped about that. New music, Revnoir is teasing a new song coming out June 11th. Their Instagram said Revnoir X Carpenter Brunt, and I feel like it's cryptic. I feel like it's cryptic. I love this band, and I love the prospect of new music. Just T, there was some stuff with Kingdom of Giants, who dropped their new song called Respond, but it's their first song with their new front person called JT Gutierrez. Everybody on the internet went wild over this, and some are saying that this is the hardest thing that they have put out. They're on the road right now with Kitty, and yeah, a lot of people have been just like blown away with whatever Kingdom of Giants is doing and their new vocalists and everything. And they even said, please give him a very warm welcome. Afterlife is back, everybody. Oh my god, I love this band so much. They have a new song out now called A Thousand Warnings. Like I said, I'm gonna be reviewing the song on my Patreon right now. I am listening to the whole thing with you all and talking about it because it sounds really heavy thus far. It sounds like it goes hard. So I'm very, very excited to listen to it. Secrets dropped another one, but it will be coming out on June 12th. It's called Bitter Dose. I love that these bands are back now. Not released yet, but Motionless in White new album is coming out on July 16th, and they stated that their track Decades is very straight from the path inspired, which you all know that he is friends, but who isn't friends with Craig Reynolds, the drummer. So it's going to be really exciting to hear what these songs sound like. Throne said pre-save rehearsed, so apparently new music that I do not know when is going to come out, but rest assured that it's coming because I just clicked pre-save. I did not see when it was dropping though. Next, this is going to be really controversial and I hope nobody comes for me, but Evanescence came out with their new album, which I felt like I did not see a lot of singles drop from them. I feel like it was just one, but now here's the new album. I could be wrong, but like I said, I'm not really too much of a fan for them, so I just need to be blunt on that. I do support them, but I'm not actively following along what's going on. I'm trying my best, so I'm potentially maybe missing something, but I didn't really see much. I just saw one, and all of a sudden I saw today that like they released their album, and I was like, hello, what's going on? But there is some drama though that has always been there, but recently I feel like it's just been popping up more and more. With it being Amy Lee versus everybody else, the band has seen a revolving door of band members, and things have been said in the past about them, and it's all been towards Amy Lee, unfortunately. Hammer UK did say few bands were massive as Evanescence in the early 2000s, with their debut album Fallen Alone shifting north of 17 million copies, but after the turning platform booted stadium goth into generational defining phenomenon, the band spent many of the years that followed frustratedly quietly releasing one album of original material in the last decade. Lately, though, the Bring Me to Life star have been looking very much revived. Being between a support stint with Metallica, Amy Lee teamed up with Poppy and Courtney Lee Plant on a single End of You. Sanctuary arrived just when Evanescence felt vital again, on their last album rather than chase the candlelit metal drama of their 2006 The Open Door or simply rehash the alt metal trappings of Fallen. Evanescence are dragging their core sound into the present with hard noise confidence. Opener Beautiful Light crashes through the door, staggering riffs and electric pulses before unfolding into gleam off-kilter choruses that feel close to contemporary prolonged metal bands. Likewise, Tell Me When You Have Enough thrives on the tension between its blunt force new metal DNA and immediate radio-sized chorus preaching on top of it. So it's been very, very well received. This album is their sixth studio album called Sanctuary, and again, it's been very well received. But there is nothing short but drama between them and the revolving door of band members. But I'm going to shamelessly plug this in. I think that the early 2000s, like everybody gives Evanescence like a lot of credit, and they do deserve a lot of credit. But I feel like the early 2000s, like there was like a lot that like went on then, and I know that there was even drama back then with them as well. So I just hope with this new album that there's not any more drama, there's not any more band members leaving or anything being said. I'm hoping that it will just be a good thing for them. Evanescence is going to do their massive tour, starting off in the US with Spirit Box and then following in the UK with Poppy. So don't forget to catch all that. Now, we are in the countdown for Sleeping with Sirens' new album. A week left to go. They also have not released many singles. I think they've released like, what, 3? So I feel like it's a little soon for this album to come out. But, there are albums I've been waiting for ages for. So seeing this one come very quickly, I'm like, man, I really wish that these other ones would hurry up and, come. But still, I'm very excited. I cannot wait to see what the whole album sounds like. I'm very excited because it just feels like they're going very heavy. Now, last week I said that August Burns Red was going to be releasing, I don't even know how many songs it was last week, but it's a full album today called Seasons of Surrender. Rock Sound said that the band stated that I think we just want to be August Burns Red. There is a sound and an era of metalcore that we are a part of, and we want to write a record that basically states that this is who we are and we're not going to change. I love that for them. Dark Divine also released their new album, Undead Melody. They're very much gothic band with these titles like Halloween Town, so go ahead and listen to this. Now, before we get into the tea about Heavy Music Awards, we got to talk about their statement that they made that I kind of missed, but I'm sad about this because I feel very disappointed that for a second year in a row, they will not be bringing this experience to fans. So let's go ahead, read this, and let's go ahead and digest this. We have some disappointing news, unfortunately. As many of you know, we had to pull the plug on Heavy Music Awards 2025 live event due to some serious health issues in the HMAS camp at the start of the summer of 2025. As most live events now, we are a very small team who get our hands dirty on all aspects of planning and running the show. With many means being a man down makes the workload impossible to deliver in a satisfactory way. With that in mind, for a second year in a row, while things are going in the right direction health-wise, we are simply not yet in the position to do the work necessary for the Heavy Music Awards live event to take place. It is in ascension a workload at the best of times behind the scenes, let alone when you are operating it at a reduced capacity. We are deep into planning 2026, and we have to say a huge thank you to Scott and the amazing team at O2 Forum Town for the unbelievable support and understanding. But with the level of work needed to make this event happen, we are shifting once again to announcing our winners through the fine folks at Rank Radio. For more details to be announced very soon, we will be announcing, and they already announced them. So they are not doing this live again. And it's very disappointing because we used to have back in the day like 2 live award shows for our scene. And now it's like Nick Nocturnal does it and it's great and it's wonderful, but that's not even like a full thing. You know what I mean? Like they're not like in person where like bands can do a show there or anything like that and sing and like we can have performances and it can be kind of like what mainstream has. We really have ours like in the dark, like the shadows, and like it sucks to see it still be in the shadows. But nonetheless, we are unfortunately still going to be having to have it not in person, not live. So now the 2026 finalists. So album of the year, super hard to pick from. You have Architects, The Sky, The Earth, All Between. You have Deftones. You have Dayseeker, Sleep Token, Spirit Box, Turnstile. Now, me personally, I'm gonna pick Architects. Hear me out. I get it. Dayseeker, Creature in the Black Knight, such an era. Sleep Token, nobody can beat them. Spirit Box, you gotta love Courtney. But okay, let me go down the list and go up. So the reason why I'm not gonna pick Spirit Box is because it took me a while to get into the songs for Spirit Box. Yes, I love this album. I love Tsunami Sea. I really like Soft Spines. I feel like Soft Spines is a great moment. But it took me a very long time to get into it. If you are an album of the year type of thing, I have to be like, this is amazing from start to end. I have to be loving it from the moment that I listen to it. Unfortunately, that was not the case for Spirit Box. The same thing for Dayseeker. I love the album. I think that it's a good contender. I think it's an era for them. I think it's a new moment for them, but it's the same thing as Spirit Box. There were some songs on this album that took me longer to fall in love with and to listen to. So, unfortunately, I am not going to be picking Dayseeker's album. Sleep Token. I'm not going to pick Sleep Token because, yes, it's a great album. When I listened to it, I went, damn, this is amazing. This is good. But I just did not feel the way I felt when I listened to their previous album that had come out. I just felt like that one shocked me. That one made me go, wow, that is something new, fresh, amazing. This album was very poppy and it was very much in a mainstream direction, and I don't mind it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it was just it's second place in my mind. I'm going with Architects because I do not skip any songs. When I first listened to this album, I went, this is a great album. I did not have any songs that made me wait to fall in love with it. I felt like it was a cultural revolution. I felt like it was a divine shift. I felt like this album did something for the scene. And that, to me, is album of the year. It has to be an album that you don't skip, that you love when you listen to it the first time. It's an album that you think about constantly. It's an album that revolutionizes our scene, that makes the scene have a cult revolution. And seeing Red, that song alone defines everything. It's good live. It's good listening to it. I'm going with Architects. Breakthrough album. I do not care for anybody on this list, and I'm just going to be blunt and honest. Sleep Theory. Obviously, I'm going with Sleep Theory. Afterglow, they have such an amazing voice. Every single member of that band is talented. I'm going with this album because, again, same thing as Architect. I feel like it brought like this soul kind of music into rock that I feel like has never been there before. And I also feel like it brings in heaviness as well, and there's such a good new band on the scene. So it is the best breakthrough album in my opinion. Best UK artist. I'm going with Architects again. I'm sorry, Sleep Token. I'm going with Architects again because they are just such an amazing band. And I think Sam Carter is very deserving. So, I'm sorry, Sleep Token. I love you. I'm going with Architects again. Now, Best International Band. This one was really hard because I was in between Noctilus and I was in between Lamb Marvs. I didn't go with Lamb Marvs just because I feel like, yes, they're a really good band. However, I think that they still have a little bit more to go. Knocked Loose is the winner in my mind because they went on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Who the hell goes on Jimmy Kimmel Live with nasty breakdowns, nasty pig squealing, and does it? Like, Knocked Loose to me has had such a year last year, and they've been still having a really good year. I think that they're very, very deserving. Best UK Live, I'm again going with Architects. Seeing Red, Culture Revolution. I'm sorry. Best International Live Band. This one was hard for me too because I love Bad Omens and I love Thornhill and I love Spirit Box, but I went with Bad Omens. You cannot beat a Bad Omens live show. Like, Name another show that is like Bad Omens. I'm gonna wait. Bad Omens all the way. They're one of the best artists to see live. Now, best breakthrough live artist, President. No doubt, hands down, they're another band that you cannot miss live. Amazing, spectacular. Give me 25 more. I love President live. Best breakthrough artist is going to President again. They're amazing live. They're an amazing band. Everything that they're pulling out is amazing and great and wonderful and fresh. Best international breakthrough band. I went with Saw 6. It was a little bit of hard for me too, but I went with Saw 6 just because I feel like they have been having such a moment. Now, album artwork. This one was hard. I did not go with Architects this time. I actually went with Landmarks just because I really, really like their artwork on this album. I think that this album's artwork is amazing and spectacular. So that's how I'm voting. Let me know how you guys are voting in the comments down below. Now, the last thing that we're going to talk about after we talk about that, the plot and you, I got an email and it read, maybe there's more than the eye can see. And then they shared this website. And if you click on it, actually, there's stuff in here. So yeah, if you click right here, they give you this, which is so cool. So they give you pretend, floating, and then they give you spare me. And then they give you, what's this? Give you spare me as a meditation on the current society and how we have internalized what happening around us, feeling guilt about what we can't control, and it's altered and rearrange them. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, let's close that. And then you now have Left Behind was inspired by an old nostalgic band and artist I grew up listening to. I wanted to make something as a tribute to that sound and hopefully elevate it as a song about gaining back confidence and hope after cutting off a person who was draining, moving forward with a fresh perspective. I love that. And then they also have right here. So now it says closure is about the in cadence of loss and separation, hoping for the best for a loved one, but being unable to continue on with their presence in your life. Oh, that's so neat. And then they have pretend touches on the depressing nature of the current state of the world, how we tend to live our lives in our own bubble and forget about the aristocrats happening around us. So this is super cool from the Plot New. I definitely recommend that you guys go ahead and mess with the whole thing yourself because it's really, really cool that they did this website. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was Breakdowns and Bows. I hope that you guys have an amazing day. I hope that you guys have an amazing week next week. And I hope that you guys like, subscribe, share, comment, follow me on all my social medias and everything like that. I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.